Hello. It's Brother Juan with Next Step Financial Partners Tax and Accounting. Me and this battle with technology is something else. Went live at 9 o'clock. It's scheduled, and for some reason, the right mic wasn't associated with the streaming program. And then I thought I went live when I first started the countdown video. But luckily, I realized I wasn't live until, before the countdown ended. So I still was able to get live before that ended. So me and technology are just battling today. And that's all right. We'll work through it. Sometimes we can be so worried about the little details. We miss the bigger things. And it's just easy to overlook some things. It happens. So I'm not going to be stressed about it. Don't you be stressed about it. I just appreciate these opportunities to come live. And of course, we're going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Again, I'm Brother Juan with Next Step Financial Partners Tax and Accounting. This program, Biz Talk with Brother Juan, is designed to help service providers in their business journey, such as coaches, consultants, course creators, and other solopreneurs. I am Brother Juan. Again, I hold a bachelor's degree in business management, a master's degree in accounting and financial management. I am an authorized e-file provider with the IRS, currently studying to become an enrolled agent through the IRS, the only certification that they offer. I also participate in the continuing education program, the annual filing season program. I hold a record of completion for 2021. And I have just been blessed to be coming in contact with business owners left and right. And so these opportunities on Tuesdays and Thursdays will provide me a chance to just kind of talk and help give direction in your biz journey. So today we're going to talk about choosing the right business structure for your coaching and consulting biz, choosing the right business structure. Should you be a sole proprietor or should you form an LLC? What about being an S-Corp, C-Corp? And how does these affect taxes? The big thing is if you start a business, go get your LLC, right? As if that was the end all. I think a lot of people are not aware of what an LLC actually is. And it is a designation on the state level. And what an LLC is designed to do is to allow you to establish a business separate from yourself. Now, tax-wise, a sole proprietor and a single member LLC that is not an S-Corp, but a single member LLC or sole proprietor, they're taxed the same way. Both of them report the income and expenses on Schedule C with the 1040. So tax-wise, they're the same, but the LLC is a state designation designed for legal protection for the business owner. So in the event that you are sued, only the business assets are at risk and not your personal assets. And really, if you are going to start a business, that's the minimum that I would suggest you do, is to get that LLC, establish a business bank account, deposit your sales and revenue in that account, pay your expenses out of that account so you can keep track of income and expenses using your bank account at a minimum. And really the only barrier that I see in forming an LLC is the filing fee with your state. So here in Oklahoma, the filing fee is $100 and $25 a year. But there are some states where it may be $800 to file initially for your LLC, and then $800 a year. And so starting a coaching consulting business and a service-based business, a lot of them are easy to provide from home, which is now so acceptable. And also they tend to have low overhead. And so it's kind of up to you how much you want to spend to form the LLC. And if you are in a state where it's not cost advantageous for you to do so, I would suggest making sure you have professional liability insurance. And professional liability insurance, I would probably say less than $400 a year, and you can pay that out monthly. And that would help in the event that you do get sued as a sole proprietor. You have insurance in place to help you mitigate that risk involved with your personal assets until you get to a point where it is more advantageous to have that LLC. And so with an S-Corp is a pass-through entity. The profits of the S-Corp are taxed on your personal return. However, with an S-Corp, you as the owner are required to take a salary. And so you become a W-2 employee of your own business. And I know a lot of people talk about paying themselves as a single member LLC and talking about establishing payroll. You're not supposed to do that. If you're in a position where you can establish payroll and put yourself on payroll, you need to make the S-Corp election. We can definitely help you with that here at Next Step Financial Partners. And if you get to a place where you are full-time and you're receiving full-time pay, you definitely want to begin looking at that transition to being an S-Corp, because then your taxes are going to be handled with payroll, right? Rather than having to worry about the quarterly estimated taxes or wondering if you have enough taxes taken out or paid throughout the year, so that you can not get a penalty for underpaying your personal income taxes throughout the year. And then a C-Corp is a separate entity. A C-Corp is taxed at the entity level, and any distribution from the C-Corp to its shareholders, which are the owners, and so you could be the shareholder of your own C-Corp, then those distributions are taxed when they are distributed. So the con to a C-Corp is double taxation, but the pro is you control the distribution. So you control when to pay out the distribution to yourself as the shareholder, and therefore your tax on that dividend. So you can mitigate that tax by not paying yourself a dividend. Does that make sense? Okay. Whereas the S-Corp, it's a flow-through entity, and so the profits of the business are going to be taxed on your personal return every year. And so there's no way to navigate not doing that. And so business structure, accounting, bookkeeping, taxes, all that has to be taken account with where you want to go as a business. And not only as a business, but on the personal side. What are your goals? What are your vision? All that determines the business structure that I would suggest. Again, if you're just starting out, start out with that LLC. And when you're making money where you are full-time and you're making a full-time salary, or even you're working part-time, you're making a full-time salary, then it's time to look at other business structures. And if you hit the ground running, and you're extremely profitable starting out, then, you want to look sooner than later, right? And so if you have any questions, feel free to type those in the comment in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to address what I can address. But that's all I really want to talk about today, is just kind of describe those entities. And again, if you have a single member LLC, I know this is the thing to do, get you an LLC, write off a bunch of deductions. But yeah, every time I see those posts shared on Facebook, Instagram, I just shake my head. It's more to it than that, right? Deductions must be necessary and ordinary to your business. And so, for instance, I have a client, I won't get into a whole lot of specifics, but purchase a vehicle in the business name, great. But my client has no use for the vehicle in the business. It's not necessary. It's not ordinary. There's no business use, just using it to travel back and forth to the office. And so it is not a business deduction, right? Because even if it was a personal vehicle, going back and forth to the office are not deductible miles. It's not a mileage expense. It has to be from your business to a client. But if they're coming to you, then it's not a deduction that you can take. And so in the event that you're audited, those questions are going to be asked. And then you would not only owe the tax, but you would owe penalties associated with that and interest if that deduction is denied. And so that's definitely a consideration, because one size doesn't fit all. Your business, your industry would dictate what's necessary and ordinary for business deductions. But being a solopreneur and service-based provider, a lot of them are going to be the same. And especially if you're working from home, the home office expense deduction, the home office deduction, the QBI, qualified business deduction, you get that as well. And so the opportunity is there. And again, your end goal, your vision is going to dictate any suggestions that I make with taxes, accounting, coaching, consulting. And again, this is why it's so important to utilize Next Step Financial Partners and myself, Brother Juan, as a strategic partner, because being and I don't really like to use the term boutique, but that's what I am, a boutique tax and accounting firm. The advantage of me doing that is I'm very selective about my clients, who I take on. And so just because someone needs my help don't mean that they're ready to receive it. And so if you are in a position where you can utilize my services, even if you're not ready for month-to-month bookkeeping, there is quarterly bookkeeping, there is yearly bookkeeping. We're transitioning soon into the fourth quarter of the year. And so it's time to start getting that yearly bookkeeping taken care of if you haven't been doing it for the year. So at the end of the year, you can have that profit and loss statement for taxes, and just so that how profitable your business has been. And so that's very important. And even if you're doing your own bookkeeping, there are services where we can come in, analyze your bookkeeping and other things going on with your business and make suggestions based on your numbers and the story that they tell us. And so those services are available. And I've helped many who are doing retail, selling various things. I won't get into what they were selling, but just analyzing the numbers and making suggestions based on, and a lot of those were just starting out, but things that they haven't even considered, and really understanding how to operate and looking at the profitability of their business. And so those consulting services are available. Coaching services are, to help you kind of flesh out all that is in your mind. Being an entrepreneur, minds become flooded. Bought a 6-pack of notebooks. So I got notebooks all over the place because sometimes I'd rather write out things than type out. When I'm not on the computer, I'm learning to move away from the computer and remove myself from the monitors. But anyway, that's all I had for today. I talked about a lot more than what I ever intended to, and those services are available. There is a link associated with this video if you want to schedule time to speak. I offer free 15-minute biz strategy sessions, tax strategy sessions, websites. I don't really advertise websites, but I do them. I love to do them. It is more of a hobby. People often wish they had came to me from the beginning and not the end. And so, because I'm very honest, if you trying to do something, oftentimes our desire is greater than our capacity to maintain it. And so we come up with creative things as far as the websites, and a lot of things can be done, but then the maintenance costs to maintain that monthly is not something we're ready to pay. And so, yeah, we use WordPress here at Next Step Financial Partners for our websites. And so WordPress is extensive, but it requires constant maintenance, updating plugins, security plugin, because they are targets to be hacked. And so block a lot of IP addresses from bots and people trying to log into the website. But I've never been hacked. And it's been over a decade. So God willing. All right. So no questions. Thank y'all for tuning in. Again, this is Brother Juan, Next Step Financial Partners. Today we talked about choosing the right business structure for your coaching and consulting biz. There is a link. If you have not already gotten my free eGuide, tax time guide, reducing the tax time stress. It is designed to offer tips and tricks for the underpaid as well as the self-employed. I think it's about 23 pages long. We are going to be updating it for this coming tax season. So definitely get on our list so that you know when the update is available. And we got some other announcements coming on in the next few months. And so look forward to sharing that. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you next time. And I'm glad y'all can hear me this time. And we'll see y'all next week.